What's going on, guys? Awesome back, and today I'm bringing you the best year 9 operator tier list on the internet. Obviously a lot of creators have made this type of video where they take all the operators and they tier list them and how good they are, but I wanted to put my own spin on it, give my own opinion, because my opinion is the best and it is 100% right. So obviously we have every single operator here other than the new recruits this for year 9 season 2. That does not exist on this list. Unfortunately, I couldn't find one like that, but at the end of the video I will make sure, once we're all done with all the operators, to tell you guys where I think they go. But yeah, without further ado, for the S, A, B, C, D, F tiers for every single operator, let's get right into the video. All right, so the first operator we're gonna go through, we're just gonna go in order. We got Ashe. Ashe, I think, I'm not trying to be biased, this could be the bad opinion, but I'm gonna go S. I wouldn't hate if you put her high A, but I'm gonna just go S, because I think Ashe, with the 3 speed, with her breaching rounds, with her R4C with ACOG, she's insane, you know what I mean? Plus, when you're playing in those high elo lobbies, or just any lobbies at all, you need to get rid of those mirrors. She can do that perfectly. So Ashe, I think, just brings a lot to the table. Best fragger in the game. There's a reason why she's ran so much. Just in anything, in just ranked, high elo, low elo, even pro league. There's a reason why she's ran so much, and it's because she is simply just that good. Ashe is going to get an S tier. Before I get any farther, there might be a lot of S tiers on this list, just because I think a lot of operators are pretty strong in this game, but that's besides my point. We'll keep moving. Bandit, I'm gonna have a tough time here, because we could go S here, and I wouldn't be mad putting him S, but we could also go A, and I wouldn't be mad putting him A. I wouldn't be mad putting him any other way. So I'm gonna just go S. I think he has a great gun. You can bandit trick if you have a good enough bandit. You can bandit trick if you bring like a Jagger or a Wamai or anything like that, and a mute. Basically, bandit's gonna be invincible, and as long as he can bandit trick good, they're not getting the wall. He has a pretty good gun. No ACOG kind of sucks, but I think bandit is really good, and he's always gonna be good, and I think he's S tier. If you think he's A tier, I wouldn't hate it. I don't hate it, but I think out of the two, we're gonna go Bandit S tier. We're gonna go Bandit S tier and move on, so I stop thinking about it. Next up, we got Castle. I'm gonna give Castle a little B tier here. I do really like Castle. I run Castle a lot. I really do like how his ability is able to suck a lot of utility out of people and a lot of time, right? It makes you force the other team to adapt to it, to you, and maybe bring one different operator than they would like to bring, or use more utility than they would like to use, right? So I do like Castle for that reason. I think he could be A tier, but the reason he's B tier is because of his gun. He gets ACOG, but the gun sucks. The ump is not good. Super slow fire rate. Just it's not what you want to be sometimes, right? So for that reasons, Castle is gonna get a little B tier here. Next up, Blitz with the shield rework. Um, he is a little bit stronger. I'm gonna give him C. Um, Again, like you could give him B, right? But I think C is good for him. Because I do think he is the weaker of the two shields. I think Montagne is a little bit better than Blitz, but I think if you are like across the map by yourself and you have no impacts or C4, and you're just Blitz is running at you, like you're cooked, man. You're cooked a lot of the time. But Blitz, he isn't the best shield, but I think he is bringable in a lot of scenarios, and I think the shield buff made him better, so I am gonna give him a C tier here. Next up, we have a Doc. Now this one is really hard for me, honestly. I think he could get the S. I think he could get the A tier. Um, Shoot, man, I don't know, because like you could make the argument where it's like he's not as great of an operator because you have to stay alive to be impactful with him, right? But you could make the same thing with a lot of operators, right? That don't have those like castle abilities where they're gonna be up, or their bandit abilities. Like literally Ashe right here. Ashe is like, you have to stay alive and get kills for her to be really useful, right? Even, or unless you like get a Mira, then you're useful for the whole round, right? So I have a tough time really putting him anywhere, but I'm gonna go S. No, I'm gonna go A. I'm gonna go A. Doc's gonna get an A just because I think he is really good. You can either roam, you can stay on site, but the Doc stims, you'd wish that maybe he had a little bit of a better ability. I'm gonna give him A as a great gun. You know what I mean? You're gonna frag out with him like Ash, but yeah, I'm just gonna give him A. I'm gonna give him A, and I'm gonna move on so I don't change my mind. Next up, we have Fuse. I'm just gonna toss him in D tier. D, F. I'm gonna just toss him D because he sells an AK-12. He sells a great gun, but at the end of the day, I mean, people are gonna run away from Fuse charges. You know what I mean? He's not that strong. He does have hard breaches, so like you can really conquer upstairs with him, but no soft destruction for Vert or anything like that, other than obviously the clusters. But I think it's fair to put him D tier, right? But yeah, we're gonna go D for him. Next up, Glaz. I'm gonna give him F. I don't want to give him F because I think he is very useful in some situations. But we're gonna go D actually. We're gonna go D. D tier for Glaz, just because, you know, like if you know the other team has a Glaz and there's a smoke thrown down, you're not gonna swing into the smoke. You know what I mean? Like it's really counterable if you know that they have a Glaz. You know, his gun, I guess, is decent. It's probably gonna two-shot here, but Glaz just doesn't bring a lot to the table, right? I mean, he doesn't bring a lot. His gun is all right. You know, he has the secondary SMG, but like at the end of the day, you're not bringing Glaz. Like these two operators, you're not bringing just like every round, and that's why they're gonna get the D tier. All right, I just realized how many operators we have, how many operators there are, so we're gonna try to pick up the pace a little bit. IQ is really good, especially with Velk being really good, so I'm gonna give her a B tier. I think obviously if they don't have like a Velk, she's not, or if you don't have like a Velk Pulse, maybe Vigil, like she's not as useful. But I think she's still good. She's gonna get her nade. She's gonna have, you know, be able to spot those Velk cams for you and those, you know, the electronic devices. But yeah, I think IQ, solid gun, solid everything. I'm gonna give her B tier. I think I really like this castle comparison with her, right? Next up we have Jagger. Jagger is gonna get a C. I think Jagger is decent. It's just his gun's a little underwhelming. If he gets ACOG in the future, he's probably S tier, but like a lot of people are just gonna run Wamai over him, right? Even though maybe Wamai's ADSs aren't better, he is, you know, like the gun. It's just the gun. Like people like the ACOG. If you don't like the ACOG or you like the one times, Jaeger's gonna be your guy. But I'm gonna give him C. You could put him B, but I think C's very appropriate for him. All right, next is Kapkan. I think Kapkan's good. I think he's just gonna get the A tier. There's a reason he gets banned every time. He has a good gun. No two times anymore, or ACOG, or one time, one and a half, 1.5. Jesus, none of that. Still a good gun though. He's gonna get the nitro. Plus, like you can know they have a Kapkan and you'll still run into Kapkans. You know what I mean? Like you can say that you don't, but you do. And Kapkan's just gonna get an A. I think it's a great tier for him. Next up, we have Montagne. This is where you're gonna see my liking for Montagne way more. Montaigne's gonna go A. Montagne, I think with the new buff is just, oh my, like you can now no longer just like get super close to him. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna get put on your butt and you're not gonna be able to do anything. And it really sucks. Montagne has gotten really like good. And I think like with the new buff, Montagne definitely benefited more than Blitz. Where's Blitz? Right here. But yeah, Montagne I think is gonna get an A tier for me. Is perfect for pushing sight. If you are facing a good Montagne, you are in for some trouble, bro. You might be cooked, buddy. But yeah, Montaigne's gonna get an A tier for me. And then Mute, I'm gonna go S tier. I think really Intel heavy meta right now, obviously with the switch from the 1.5 to the ACOG. And Mute is just really good. Great guns. I mean, you get the shotgun, SMG 11, plus you get the nitro cell, plus a great ability. Mute, definitely an S tier operator. Next up, we have Pulse. I think Pulse does get up to a C tier here. Probably before the launch of the new season, I'd put him D tier, but because of Soul's new nerf, I'm gonna put him C tier because it's gonna make him way more playable if you're trying to play Vert from under and like deny play and stuff like that. But yeah, Pulse is gonna get a C tier for me. Next up, we got Rook. I think Rook's gonna go C. Obviously, then extra, you know, health and armor is nice. But it's not as good as Doc. It's not as good as Doc. Let's just be honest. You know, his guns are obviously the same as Doc's, but it's just the abilities. Like you can see how good the abilities are and how it really separates the operator. But yeah, Rook's just gonna get a C tier. Very mediocre operator, right? Next up, we have Sledge. I'll give Sledge B. Decent operator, solid gun, not really that great. Nerf Sledge. All right, next up we have Smoke. Smoke's gonna get an S tier, just like his counterpart Mute. Perfect plant denial, perfect entry denial. He's got like 4 of his smoke thing, 3 or 4. I forget. Again, he's gonna have the SMG-11 and the shotgun. Beautiful combo. You know, you're gonna get barbed wire with the barbed wire up buff. But yeah, I think smoke is an easy S tier for me. Now we got Lord Tachanka. Um, I'm gonna give him C. You know what? I would give him D probably any other day of the week, but I'm gonna give him C today. I think that Kapkan gun's really good, bro. And I really like it on him. And he gets ACOG on it. Now, his ability is a little lackluster, but if you play it right, like I don't actually we're gonna bump him down to D. I don't think he is on the C tier level, but I'm not ranking him within the list, but I think he'd be like high D tier. So I'm gonna move him here because I don't know if we should do CD. I think his ability, like if you can use it really well, like he can be a really good operator. But a lot of people don't know how to do that, so he's gonna fall into D tier a lot of the time. Like I put him in the list right now. Next up, Thatch, easy S tier. I think a lot of people just use him for wall, and like that's obviously his main purpose, but having a Thatcher like to clear mutes or like Wamais or not Wamais, you know, mute jammers, Malusis, like Thatcher's really useful, and there's a reason why he gets banned every time. You know what I mean? Getting those walls obviously is like the main S tier, but also clearing those other utils to push into sight is like a huge thing of why he's S tier. Next up we got Thermite. I'm a Thermite main. I love running Thermite, and I'm gonna give him A tier. I don't think he's quite S tier. I don't think he's quite there, but I think he's a good A. His gun is good. You know, he's gonna get smokes to help plant. He's gonna get stuns if you want to get a little more aggressive. He has a good gun, like I said, and his ability, obviously, hard breacher. It's always gonna be needed. It's a big boy hard breach, but on some, you know, he's always gonna be wanted. But I think he just gets an A tier. I don't think he quite sneaks up to the S, but I think he gets the A. All right, next up, Twitch. I'm gonna give her an S tier. Good gun, high recoil, but if you can control it, it's one of the best in the game. Amazing ability to clear utility. That's all you need. That's all you need on an attacker, bro. S tier, I don't care. Buck, S tier, back-to-back S's. Buck, only operator that can play Vert from underneath other than Deimos. But Buck, Vert King, solo Q King, like you solo Q with him. Amazing gun, gets stuns, hard breaches, great, you know, ability. Buck is an easy S tier. Next up, Frost. Frost is a tough one. We give Frost B. I think Frost is good. I do run Frost sometimes, but I don't think she has. Does she have what it takes to be an A tier? Does she have what it takes? I'm low-key doubting myself. I'm gonna just give her B because I think her gun's a little underwhelming at times. And that's maybe I think the reason why it is in B. But her ability is pretty good. I mean, even though I think it sucks that it doesn't like trap them in the thing now, but I think she's a good B tier still. Operator. She's a good operator. Next up, Blackbeard. I'm not even gonna say anything. Don't run Blackbeard, please. Velk is up next. Velk, S tier. Cams, Deagle for head holes, C4 for pre-place, good gun. You need nothing else. Capitao. Capitao is Capitao. Ooh, this is a tough one. B A. I'm gonna go B. Because I think Capitao, if you can coordinate with your team, is an A tier. Because the fire can be really helpful, the smokes can be really helpful, reading plants down, forcing people out of places. But I think just on a normal team, like he's gonna be a B tier. I mean, decent gun. Claymores, I think. But yeah, the ability is really good when you're combinating it with like others and really like working with your team. But I think as a baseline, he's a B tier. Cav, D. Cav, I think is not. It's tough with Cav because like if you have a good Cav and he's getting constant kills on the roam and an interrogation once in a game, he can easily be like a BC. But like Cav is just a D tier operator because you can easily just do a roam clear and like kill her. Obviously with like a lot of other operators, but it's a lot easier with like her instead of like down here like a vigil. So I'm just gonna give her D. If you can get some interrogations, it's not like these operators are not like don't play them at all. But like Cav and Tachanka, I think are like operators that like could be in C. It's just like you have to be good on them, right? But yeah. Echo's up next. I'm gonna give him A. Great plant denial. Decent gun. I wish he got ACOG. I wish he did. I don't know why. He had 1.5, but they wouldn't give him ACOG. Who thinks of that? He's going to get a shield or impacts. Shield's really good if you want to hold any places for your team. But yeah, I think Echo's a good A tier. Like, I feel like these operators are all just like, when you think of them, you're not like, these are the best operators in the game, but you're thinking like, they're almost. And I think that's what Echo fits here. Habana gets an S for me. Hatches, best operator for Hatches, and that is like huge, bro. You know what I mean? Like Thermite didn't get the S tier, but I think Habana does. You can open great lines of sight. She has a pretty good gun, low bullets. But you're gonna get stuns too, and the hatches, and just she's a great heart breacher. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Next up, we have Jackal, S tier. There's a reason. All I'm gonna say for Jackal is there's a reason he gets banned almost every ranked game that you play in. All right, next up, Mira. I'm gonna go S tier too. A lot of S tier operators, like I said. Mira is amazing. They're like, if you coordinate, if you get like a mute, if you get Wamai, and just literally like, if you can keep your mirrors alive for the whole round, your win percentage is gonna just dramatically skyrocket. Mira, just having those windows there is gonna paranoid, put ghost pressure on those spots. Plus, it's just like you're unkillable, right? You know, a lot of the time you can see them and they can't see you, right? Mira is amazing. Amazing. She gets banned a lot, like I said again. All right, next up, we're just do these operators all three in a row. Lesion, Ying, Dokkaebi, all have great guns, all have amazing abilities. Great for clearing roams, just having Ying, great solo push, get plant down. Lesion, best trap operator, all have great guns. T, SMG, decent gun, I guess, but Dokkaebi, SMG 12, DMR, great utility, great secondary stuff, all S tier deservingly. Zofia, next up, D tier. Zofia's not bad, and it hurts me putting her in D tier, but like I feel like there's so many better operators that you can run. Honestly, honestly, like just running any other operator, her guns aren't that great. It's not really rewarding to run Zofia over other operators, and that's why I'm gonna give her this D. Next up, Ela, C. Decent. You could put her D, but I'm gonna just give her C. Her guns aren't bad. She's gonna have a shield, so you can bring her to defend, and bring a shield and stuff like that. Her ability is really annoying when you push into sight. You push into a doorway and you're just Ela, like it's hard to like. It sucks to see, right? But I'm gonna give her a C. She's decent. Vigil, I could give him S. He's really in meta right now, but I'm gonna give him A. Um, Probably the best roamer in the game, I'd say. Just, you know, whether you're running the Boss G, you're gonna have that SMG12 as your secondary, right? And that's gonna make him a lot better. Impacts, his ability is really strong. Because drones just literally just can't see you. You know what I mean? And now it stays on, right, when you're shooting things or anything. So yeah, I'm gonna go Vigil A. I think he could get the S, but I'm gonna just put him A because I feel like that's where he should be. Finka up next. I'm gonna give her A too. LMG is really strong right now. If you are not using Finka LMG, use Finka LMG. Has nades, has stuns, has smokes. Good ability. You know, obviously it prevents, like, if you're playing a Cav, always run a Finka so you can deny those interrogations. But yeah, I think Finka is really good. I think she is like the definition. When I think of Finka, I think of A tier. I don't know what it is, but that's just how I think. Next up, Alibi, C. Decent ability. I mean, like, you could go D maybe with Alibi too, but I don't think she's D tier. I think she's C tier. She's really mediocre operator. She's alright. I mean, like, you're just not, like you're not maining Alibi. You know what I mean? Like, you're not maining any of these operators. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. Maestro, B tier. Maestro's really good. Just make sure if there's a Brava, she doesn't hack this. I think it's really good for Planta now, and I don't think people use Maestro enough, honestly. Maestro's really annoying to play against, and if you know how to play him well, he's going to be really good. Next up, Clash, C tier. Really annoying to play against, but you can counter her pretty easily. You just push where she's not. But yeah, Clash is really annoying, but I think C tier really fits her. Like, when I think Clash, you think the C for Clash, right? Maverick next. A tier. Not quite S. If he could breach, like, his own walls, I'm maybe giving him S. I guess he can, because you can do the, like, you do the thing where you, like, do the top of the wall and the bottom, and then you could shoot out the, you know, soft wall, but you have to bring someone else for that, you know what I mean? Maverick can't do it all. And he's a really good supporting op, I think, for a lot of hard breachers and just a lot of people in general. So Maverick's gonna get an A. If he was more self-dependent, he would be S, but I think A really fits him. Cade up next. Cade's gonna get S. Just only dude that can electrocute hatches. That's all you need to know, right? Decent guns, all that. Amaru, C tier. Maybe D. D tier. Amaru's gonna get D. And the reason I'm giving her D other than C is because she's so situational. You know what I mean? Like, you're not running Amaru on every single map. You're running Amaru to push site, and that's it. To fast push, and most of the time you can only do it once a game because then the team will pick up and be ready for it, right? So Amaru's gonna get D just because of how situational she is. And she doesn't add much other than that rush, attack, surprise thing. You can get plants down with her, which is really nice, but that's really situational. Nomad's up next, S tier. Nomad's really great. We'll do Gridlock too. I think Gridlock gets an A. I think both these operators, just because they're like the only anti-flanks in the game. Nomad, I would give the edge to just because I just like the air jabs more because like they don't know they're there and then they get hit by them versus like the Gridlock things where you have to like shoot them. You know what I mean? The Nomad leaves them more defenseless. So yeah, I'd give Nomad the S and a better gun. I think Nomad has with the stuns too. So yeah, I'm gonna give Nomad this slight edge and give her S. But I don't hate Gridlock. You know what I mean? I don't think enough people run Gridlock, so I'm gonna give Gridlock A. I think she's good. Mozzie B. B C. It sucks, man. He almost had ACOG too. Coming in a year now, he almost had ACOG, but he didn't get it. So he is down here. It's still a decent operator, right? But I'm gonna give him I'm gonna give him I'm gonna give him B just because I think his ability's still good. Great for intel, but the ACOG, it sucks, man. You know what I mean? Not having that on his Pironi does move him down quite a lot, but I think his ability is still good. You can roam with him and stuff like that. So yeah, Mozzie's gonna get a B. Next up, we got Nook, D tier, easiest D tier of my life. Such a mid operator, bro. Such a mid operator. I don't care what you guys say. I'm a Nook main. I love Nook. Nook is not that great, bro. She's not. Her ability is not good. Her gun isn't that good to justify the badness of her ability. And just like she's mid, bro. She sucks. You're not bringing a Yang on like any site. And if you're bringing a Yang, it's because you want to run Yang. It's not because it's a good operator to run on the site. It's because you just want to be Yang. And it's not it. So next up we have Warden. Warden is interesting. B tier. B tier. Solid guns. Sucks he doesn't have the 1.5 anymore, but I think he's still solid. You know what I mean? You get the shield. You can hold down a lot of places by yourself, obviously, because you're going to get stunned and flash, but behind the shield and you're Warden, so Warren's still decent. I'd give him a solid B tier. I think I wouldn't be mad if you said C, but I'm going to give him B. Lion's up next, B tier. Just, when I think Lion, again, like it's like Finka, his counterpart. I just think B tier. It's decent. You know what I mean? He's not anything special. He doesn't have that wow factor to put him SA, but I would SA, AS. But I'd go B with him. I'd go B. Goyo's up next. I'm gonna give Goyo A. I think Goyo, to a sense, is overrated sometimes. I don't think he's as good as a lot of people say he is, but I think his ability and just having the ACOG and stuff like that's gonna give him that A tier. I think it's gonna be a little rightfully so. I think he does deserve this. Callie's up next, D tier. Just not bringing Callie. You're not bringing him. You're not bringing her. You're not bringing her. She's very mid. Good for getting walls, but like you're gonna bait when you're Callie, and it's not. It's just Callie's whatever. D tier. All right, next up is Wilmai. I'm gonna give him an S. I think you could put him A, but I think his ability and his gun is just way too strong. Plus, you get impacts, and you can make lines of sight with the secondary pistol. We're gonna go Oryx next. C tier. I think he does get out of the D just because of the shields. Amazing counter the shields. Only reason he's in C tier, I'm gonna be honest. Good gun, but just not really good other than if they have a shield. So I'm actually gonna put him A. I'm gonna put him right next to Amaru. Because they are just so situational, right? Ayana, we give her A. I think she's still good. She's still good. She's gotten nerfed just time after time after time, but she's still solid, you know what I mean? Good solo queue op, good intel op, gone 6, decent guns. Not, you can't complain too much, but like she is nowhere near her prime, right? Ace, S tier. Most versatile, hard breach in the game. Can't get hatches now, which sucks. You need 2 for a hatch, but he's still good. AK-12, like one of the best guns in the game, right? So he's gonna get a good S tier, and I think it's very deserving. Next up, we're gonna go Melusi, also S tier. Her ability is amazing. Her gun, amazing. Has impacts, great. Secondary, if she had like a bailiff or something, that would be so broken. She doesn't, but S tier still. Everything's great. She's an amazing op. There's a reason she gets picked like every round, right? Zero's up next. B tier. Mediocre op. Doesn't have that wow factor to give him A or S, but has decent guns. His ability is really good, especially in solo queue, just to give and feed information. But yeah, I'm going to go 0 in B tier. Next up, we have a Rooney. A Rooney gives an A for me. Good DMR. I don't really mess with DMRs that much. Her ability is good. You know what I mean? I think she is she's not like, she just like, I don't really want to put her A, but I don't think she deserves any of the tiers under her, so I'm going to give her A. Next up, Flores, great operator, A tier. Clears the zombies, clears a lot of utility, pretty good gun, deserves this. He deserves this. He's got stuns. Flores is great, man. Great A tier op. Come on. Stop sleeping on Flores, bro. Stop sleeping on him. Seriously. Thunderbird, F tier. Never play her, please. Osa, B tier. Alright. Can help get plants down. You know, if you can use her correctly and like use her for solely plants, like AS maybe. Or A tier maybe, but I think Solus is a B, or Osa is a P. Jesus Christ. Osa's a B. Osa's a B tier. Thorn, C tier. Not. Oh my god. Do I put her D? I'm gonna give her C. I think her traps are still pretty good. She has the barbed wire combo that she can do. But she is just a very, very, very mid operator with her, you know, better scope taken away from her. Azami S tier still. I still think Azami's S tier. She's still great. I don't care that she's gotten nerfed. You know, you can now shoot her things, but I don't care. She's got a great gun, impacts, deagle for lines of sight, and her ability is still good. It's not as good as it was at her prime, but it is still pretty good, and she deserves this S tier spot still. If you wanted to put her high A, I wouldn't be mad, but I think, in my opinion, she deserves this S tier. Sens, probably just F. Yeah. All right, so Grim, I'm gonna give him A. Not quite S, but is a very helpful operator and very underrated. If you ever watch Pro League, you'll see them run a lot of Grim, and Grim get banned a lot. Just if you want to become a good Grim, watch Pro League, and you'll just see how good they run Grim. It's actually crazy. Solus is up next. C tier. Not D tier. I don't think the nerf is as bad as a lot of people think. It is really bad still. Like, she went from an easy, like, top S tier, like top 3 op in the game, to a C tier. I don't think it's that bad. The impacts is really what hurts it. But if you can still use the ability to your advantage. She still has some decent guns. You know what I mean? So I don't think she drops down to C or D or F, but I think C. She's just mid now, and it's so sad. We love Solus. Buff Solus, please. Buff her back. Brava. C tier with Solus. I mean, like, you're not running Brava unless they have like Maestro and Melusi and like all of these operators. If they're not running any of those, Brava's basically useless other than if you're getting like just the default cams, but that's not where you want to put all of like, that's not, you don't want to use an operator on that at that point, right? So Brava's just going to get a little C tier from me. Fenrir, this is interesting after his nerf, and I don't know where to put him. This is after his nerf, so now he has 2 activations and 4 of the FNOTs. I'm gonna go A. I think he's still really strong, but not maybe as strong as he was. And I think I think that is fair. Still a great gun. Bailiff, barbed wire, good ability, but he can't cover like everything now. You know what I mean? There's always going to be a soft spot. There's always going to be that risk of like Brava getting it hacked, and then you only have like 1 to use. There's always going to be a use of Twitch. They're all bulletproof now. So Fenrir, I think, does move down to A, but he's still very strong in my opinion. Ram is up next. Ram is tough because I want to give her S because I love Ram, but I'm going to give her A. Ram reminds me like these 2 ops like really go with each other, I feel like. Or not like they're not like the same, but in my heart they're the same. I think they're both very good. They have good guns, good utility, but you know, you can't play Vert on every site. You know what I mean? Most of the time you're not bringing Ram on every site. But great gun, great ability, stuns, perfect. Great op, great. Love Ram, one of my favorites. And the last op we have is Lil I I literally can't think. Tuberel, A tier. I don't see any Tuberels played, but in like my games, like they've dropped dramatically. He's still good though. You know what I mean? He's still good. If you pair him with other ops, that's why he's not S. That's why he's not S. You need other ops. He's a great supporting op. It reminds me a lot of Maverick, but on the defensive side, where he's gonna support a lot of people and help other people be better. But he is still a great op with the DMR and the MPX. But that's every operator other than Recruit. You forgot Recruit. I know you did if you're watching till the end of this video. I know you forgot Recruit. So, where do we put Recruits, man? I'm going to just toss them both in B. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I haven't had a lot of time to really like sit and think and be like, oh, he deserves an A tier. I haven't had a lot of time to think, but I think they're both solid. I think you can both pass by with using them, right? So yeah, I think I'll just throw them B. I think you can make a lot of great combos. The shield C4. I've seen a lot of proximity C4 where like the proximity goes off and you just blow it up and you get a free kill. And then attacking, like if you're doing the hard breach and the EMPs, or if you're doing like smokes, stuns, I would maybe give the slight edge to Sentry just with the utility being more better probably on the defensive side. So maybe if you want to put Sentry A and then like Striker B, I would not be mad at you. I think that may be the right move, but I'm just gonna put them both B. Fair ops, decent ops, definitely a buff to Recruit, definitely a buff. But yeah, that's gonna be all for today's video. If you like what the perfect operator tier list, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure you watch the other videos that I've been dropping. Make sure you follow the Twitch that's linked in the description. And we're posting 3 times a week now, so more videos for you guys. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.